All right, guys, we're here in the film room again. It's a lovely place to be, especially after a Browns victory. We're going to talk about some of the good, some of the bad, and some of the things that can be improved, and some of the things that look like they are improving. First thing is first, right? Before we jump into the sack party and some of the great things the defensive line did, we got to talk about the offense first. The offense had a little shaky start to this game, and I think it was no more on display than on fourth down last week, right? I think that was a big area in which some of the shakiness for this team was on display for the offense. Now, it doesn't seem like it's going to be something I would expect to be consistent, but you're going to see here, right? I want you to watch the snap, funky snap, one hands it, and then look, pressure right off the edge there, right? So let's go back. Yeah, we get a funky snap. He has to one-hand this ball. Look at that. Snap's bad. So now he has to take that extra half a second to get to the ball. And then the protection's not great. You see right here, this is how you know a protection was messed up by somebody, is when you see this right here. A offensive lineman just standing there, hands on his hips, head slanted down, because that is a dude who knows that somebody messed up or he messed up and it completely blew that protection. So let's see what happened in the wide view to get a better picture on this. But again, this is a fourth down play. These kind of mistakes can't happen, right? You see Joe Bitonio point out right here, hey, there's that guy. I'm going to get that guy. So what you would assume here would be Jedrick's going to kick out, get this guy, and then the pocket's pretty much going to be covered. There's really nobody extra showing a blitz here. Maybe you could say Roquan Smith is in a hole there, but he's not showing any type of blitz. It's just a standard four-man pressure. This guy, you might want to watch him, but you got Kareem Hunt in the backfield. He can watch that too. So it's not like it's not covered there from a schematic standpoint. It's just there was a brain fart here by the offensive lineman. I don't know which one, who's responsible, but there was definitely a brain fart here, right? Because you look here, and he just, lets him go by because he had his eyes on the inside. Can't have that on fourth down. All right, so this is the second fourth down that they went for at the beginning of the game. And again, just similarly poorly executed play here. Offensive line rolls out. Nick Chubb bounced out of there way too fast. So the run sale was not convincing at all. You see Khalil Mack, he kind of stops just to see if Nick Chubb might have the ball, but it really doesn't slow him down enough. And he's always going to be kind of naked off that edge there, so you need that sell to be a little bit more convincing. I have no idea what the plan was supposed to be for Robert Quinn here. Appears to be no plan. So, Robert Quinn gets there, Khalil Mack gets there, play gets blown up. Had no chance because it was sloppy. Again, sloppy execution, not going to get you anywhere. But it wasn't all sloppy, right? Not on the defensive side of the ball at the very least, because it definitely wasn't sloppy there. I want you to pay attention to this side of your screen. Jadeveon Clowney and Malik McDowell, and see how they work together to create pressure here, will create space here. And the second Clowney sees that space open up because Malik McDowell is winning this one-on-one here, he's going to shoot there and get a sack. That is working in tandem. That is beautiful execution. And that's something you hope to see more of as this team plays together. But you see right there, again, Malik McDowell takes care of his one-on-one. In the second Clowney gets a read that Malik McDowell's going to win that one-on-one and sees the space, especially since 74, I believe that's Jermaine Ifedi, overset, leaves that gap wide open. Boom, right to the quarterback. Guard can't do anything about it because he's worried about McDowell, and that's how you win. That's when they say, oh, Clowney one-on-one, that's going to make a difference. That's what they're talking about, right? That's what people are referring to when they're saying Clowney one-on-one, that's going to make a huge difference, those kind of plays. Again, we talked about some sloppy execution on the offensive side of the ball. That was not the case for the defense. They played well. On this play right here, Justin Fields just couldn't be right. Matt Nagy, Justin Fields, no matter what they did on this play, they were not right. We're going to let this play through, and then we're going to click through why. But they do a run play. JOK eats it up, right? So they could not be right on this play, because if this is a pass, Justin Fields is getting creamed right here because we're winning these two one-on-ones. And then if this is a run, which it is, to probably about this gap, JOK is so athletic. The second he sees that handoff and the running back go that way, he just shoots here in a half a second and just kills that gap completely. Again, he is a special football player when he's out there. And this is why people get excited about him. It's not necessarily the most sexy thing in the world, but it is game-changing what that speed can do. Again, watch JOK here. Sees it, shoots it, kills it. Just sheds that block, kills it dead. But I want you to pay attention on the other side. Malik McDowell, or is that Malik Jackson? One of the Maliks in there shoots, and then kills Justin Fields on the other end, right? Like, so it's not just one-sided here. Justin Fields is here having a bad day. Same as David Montgomery at the same time, virtually, right? Because he's about to come in here and ruin this play right here. Justin Fields has already been ruined over here. It's a bad day. It's a bad day to be a Chicago Bear on the offensive side of the ball at the very least. And again, want you to keep your eye on number 28 here, because a lot of the questions about him coming out of the draft, oh, he's too small. And one of the things I said is, you have to be real careful when you say a player's too small, because you have to see some evidence of that against some top-tier college competition before you run with that narrative, because some guys are undersized, but it's not really a problem, right? Ray Lewis was undersized. It wasn't a problem at all for Ray Lewis. So JOK, yeah, he's a little shorter. He's 6'1", is 6'2". He's not even short for a linebacker, but he's not the biggest guy in the world. It doesn't matter. It's an offensive lineman trying to get his hands on him. He's too quick for him, and he just shoots the gap. Yeah, size ain't an issue with JOK. All right, so this is definitely one of the plays where I noticed that Baker was having a bit of an off day here, just because it wasn't like him not to make this throw, even though he saw it, looked at it, just didn't go with it here. Basically, it's going to be a play action concept. The running back's going to go to the flat. Odell's going to streak across the field here. He's going to come into motion and then kind of run out this way to clear out this part of the field. And I believe David Njoku does another clear route here. They're all trying to clear up this part of the field for Odell so he can be open here. And he is open here. But Baker looks at it, just didn't feel comfortable pulling the trigger. I want to know why that was. That was something I noticed during the game. We were going to watch here, right? Peoples-Jones comes in motion. That wasn't Schwartz, my bad. But you see Odell, like he's wide open at this point, right? Baker's at the top of his drop, so he's at the top of that drop. Odell, this guy's back's turned. He's out to play. This guy is way too far from Odell to make a play, and this safety is flat-footed at the top of the 10-yard line. So this space is all Odell. He's gonna turn around right here. This ball should hit him right here. It just didn't come. You see here, if you watch Baker's body language, it looks like he wants to throw this. And again, his eyes look like they're in that direction. He sees Odell, and this play is designed for Odell, right? You see how they clear out here. You see how this route is clearing out this way. This is designed to get the ball to Odell on this play. He just didn't pull the trigger for whatever reason, and I'm wondering what that was about. Maybe it was just kind of a off thing for him. He was having a little bit of an off day, so maybe that's it. But again, something to watch going forward. If it becomes a thing, then it becomes an issue. But he just didn't pull the trigger here, right? He pump fakes and everything. And again, Odell's wide open at this point. He's wide open on the first pump fake, the second pump fake, and the third one. Like, you got to throw that ball to him. You got to get the ball to him at that point. So again, don't know why Baker didn't pull the trigger there. Be interested to see if that's something that keeps popping up. I don't expect it to, but it was something worth noticing. He still scrambles and gets like a couple of yards here, but you would have preferred him getting the extra 10, 15 yards he could have got on that play. It wasn't just Baker that had an off day. I think the whole offense had an off day. I think there was some miscommunication on the line early, and I think Joe Bitonio himself had an off day. Jedrick Wills had an off day. I think his ankle's really affecting him. There's a play I'm going to show you that's going to really illustrate that. But again, watch Joel here. That's not Joel. My bad. That's the center. This is Joel right here. Again, just an off day here. He had a hard time dealing with Mario Edwards' length in this game, and it really caused some issues in the pocket here. This is just one example of that. But again, look how Edwards uses his length off the ball, gets into the chest of Batonio, and that's it for Batonio, right? Baker sacked at that point. So Joel, a little bit of an off day. It was unexpected that he was going to have an off day, but he did have a little bit of an off day. But hey, you can have an off day in the NFL. Can you get it when you need it, right? That's the most important part. Can you get it when you need it? And as much as I want to talk about Baker having a bad day or an off day, the offensive line having a little bit of an off day, look, they protected this. This is a tight window here that you have to get this ball to Austin Hooper. He doesn't have great separation here, but that guy's back's turned, so you got this ball right here in this window for a touchdown. And then, if you need to check down here, you got the check down. Well, not the check down, but if you need another route here, you got this route here to the sideline. So you're in a good play call against this defense, and they execute well. Baker puts a great ball right on the money here, and they score a touchdown right before half. And again, good teams, not going to play the smoothest all the time, but when they need it, they can get it. Browns needed it, they got it. I think also one of the most underappreciated players on the Cleveland Browns is one Mr. Malcolm Smith, 56 here. I want you to watch him matched up in the slot here, and he almost forces an interception. He should start. Him and JOK, and that nickel package should be what the Browns run the most, because they're both really good, really versatile linebackers. I get people like Anthony Walker. People have belief in Mac Wilson. Taki is good in a run-stopping role. But, yeah, that should be the main rotation. Malcolm Smith, JOK, and Taki. That's all I want to see with these linebackers. I don't want to see anything else other than Malcolm Smith, 56, 28, and 44. Those are the only three linebackers I really care to see. I like number 4. He can rotate in. 51's a little bit too inconsistent for my taste, but he can serve his purpose during the season. But yeah, 56 is a really good linebacker, and I feel like nobody ever talks about him. Nobody ever gives him his flowers, but he's been the best linebacker for the Browns for like the last year in a couple of games here. So watch him in the slot. He's excellent here. He just kind of plays it out, fills out the route, doesn't get fooled at the top of it, and then puts his hand on the ball, pops it out, almost gets an interception there for Malik Jackson. So, Malcolm Smith is somebody we should put a lot more respect on his name, because I feel like people don't put the respect on his name that he deserves. He's one of the best linebackers that the Browns have had for a while now. So I kind of mentioned a play earlier where I thought that Jed's ankle was hurting him, where it kind of was obvious that it's hurting him. Watch him here. He's just not his usual self right now. He clearly looks he looks affected by that injury. You're going to see him give up this pressure. I think it's a sack, actually. Yeah, he just can't get as deep into his drop as he wants. It's not clean. His feet aren't smooth like they normally are. It looks like that ankle's really affecting him, and it looked like there was a reason he didn't play in the second half was because of that ankle. Because again, he normally has a better drop than this. This is a unathletic drop for an offensive tackle. He has a athletic drop, and again, allowed Robert Quinn to get behind him. So yeah, Jed's hurt. Jed's hurt. It's hurting him, and he's not playing as well as he normally would. That's one thing, and also it stinks, right? Because he's hurt. He couldn't get as deep on his drop. Austin Hooper, wide open right here, right? Watch 81. He's going to come out here and be wide open. 81's going to flash right here. He's going to be wide open about this part of his route. So it stinks. If Baker would have had a cleaner pocket, that would have probably been a touchdown or something close to it. Unfortunately, it ends up being a sack and they get behind the sticks, right? But he's wide open right there. Boom. Wide open. Ain't nothing nobody can do about it, right? This guy right here, he's jammed up with this dude. This dude has his back turned. This guy's over here going this way. Maybe he could reverse field and stop him about here. But yeah, he's going to catch this, and he would probably go close to in or about, if that guy takes a good angle, he could probably get him down to 10. Either way, first down, at least there with a pass to Austin Hooper. It's there. He sees it, but he gets hit right before he can throw it. And that's unfortunate, right? And I think Jed's ankle's really hurting him at this point. Now, Baker Mayfield's athleticism is always like a topic of conversation. And I think he's a lot more athletic than I ever give him credit for, too, because he always surprises me. This play right here, I mean, we saw it on tape where it was a spin move, but it's much more impressive when you can see the whole field here, right? Because you notice that this end had been squatting out watching Baker Mayfield for a while. And then also I want you to notice something here, too. He's going to be forced out to this side of the pocket. The field's split in half at that point. He has 1, 2, 3 wide receivers right there that are just completely out of the play. 3 of them are his best receivers, right? That's Odell you can't throw to, Kareem Hunt. Now you have Hoops here, and then this dude's down deep. I don't know what number that is. I can't tell. But now that's the situation he's in just right now once he gets forced out. Right? So he gets forced out to where that guy was sitting and spying on Baker, waiting for him to pop out the pocket, see if there was going to be a rollout. So played right into his hand. And again, man, there is nobody on this side of the field for Baker to throw it to, because even Peoples-Jones, who's right here, he's headed this way. All these guys are all the way over here. Baker's a great arm. He doesn't have a Patrick Mahomes arm, so he's not going to go over right here and throw it to Odell down here. That's only stuff Patrick Mahomes can do. Maybe he could get the ball here, but that would be a tough axe. And then even if he wants to run, you got to find a way to get rid of him, and that's not an easy axe either. But look at what he does to make something happen when there's truly nothing on the field to be made of. He gets rolled there, and he just fakes him out. Beautiful spin move. Buys him, he gets a healthy amount of yardage on that play. Now, it was a 3rd and super long on that, but that helped them get into better field goal range, and the closer you can get when you're relying on the kicker, the better, because you don't want to be relying on kickers to make 50, 60-yard field goals all the time. This is not fair. But again, Baker, absolutely nothing there on his side of the field. Even Hoop's not really ready to catch a ball right now, and 94 is just waiting for him. Baker just fakes like he's going to throw that ball to Peoples-Jones completely and then just spins him out. Great move there. And it buys him, a good amount of yardage there that helps him on that field goal attempt. So Baker's athleticism is something that keeps surprising me. Sometimes he relies on it a little bit too much, which is surprising to say because sometimes he does flush from the pocket before he really needs to. But yeah, Baker's athleticism, it's a lot better than people assume. All right, so we know that this was a welcome to the NFL experience for Justin Fields in this game. But what was the moment that was welcome to the NFL for Justin Fields? I don't think it was any of the big sacks that he took because, he's taken sacks before at Ohio State by good athletes before. No, I don't think that was the case. I think when something like this happens to you is more of a welcome to the NFL moment. It's a little bit more mundane here, but watch Myles Garrett on the edge. He gets a free run, plays the lane, and he just completely mirrors the hips of Justin Fields, right? Justin Fields is rolling here, and he's thinking, I'm gonna get Myles to come a little bit upfield, and I'm gonna cut up on him and get like 10 yards on the scramble, because at Ohio State, I could get that 10 yards. Even if I'm playing against an SEC team, I can get that 10 yards here, right? He does that, and Myles Garrett cuts with him and just gets him. And then he has to panic throw that ball behind the line of scrimmage. That was a welcome to the NFL moment, that a dude as big as Myles Garrett can be just as athletic, if not a better athlete than you are. That is welcome to the NFL 101 there for Justin Fields. All right, and we're going to end this film session out right with a pair of JOK plays here. See JOK here in coverage. That's a catch? No, it's not. He just gets his arm in there. Again, he's great against the run. We've already seen him. He's great against screens, but if you need him to be in coverage, look at the technique here, right? All right, Montgomery beats him a little bit, but he doesn't give up. He uses his length and he uses his strength to pop that ball out in completion. JOK, man, the dude's really good at football. He's going to be so good for this team. Again, another welcome to the NFL moment for Justin Fields, and another, oh my goodness, JOK is a really good football player moment for the Cleveland Browns here, right? Watch JOK, number 28 right there. It's easy to spot. He sees the read option, stays home. He even bites a little bit on the run, right? He goes with the flow of the offensive line, but then he plants that foot, goes downhill, and just completely gets there. And again, for Justin Fields, he pulls this out, right? At every other level of football he's played, he's got everyone beat. 91 is all the way tucked in. I got the edge. Ain't nobody getting me at Ohio State. Unfortunately for Justin Fields, this is not Ohio State. Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah is athletic enough to be about 3-4 steps late on chasing you, but he can take a good enough angle, and he's fast enough that he can beat you to the line of scrimmage. And now you got to slide before you even get there. JOK is great. Justin Fields learned a lot about NFL football versus the Browns. It was a learning experience for him. We'll see if he recovers. But that's it for this film breakdown. Again, guys, thank you for watching. Have a great day. Have a good night.